What?
There you have it. That's where the major's going to be. I'm
Wow.
sorry.
Oh my God, I can't believe it.
I had to tell you.
That's amazing.
They were checking Atlantis, but unfortunately, unfortunately, it was a bit too wet this time of year. So. Space Station versus Beast Coast squaring off. Beast Coast have a single point this stage. It has not been the results that they've been looking for after adding Zeno and Ferda. Ferda's only been able to play 2 matches.
Yes.
Mark, their coach, was playing, and honestly, he was not that bad. It's not like he was really dragging the team down. There's been structural issues with this Beast Coast roster. They have 1 point where they lost in overtime. That's it. 5 regulation losses follow that. Not exactly, again, where you want to be. Meanwhile, Space Station have 2 regulation wins, 2 overtime wins, and 2 regulation losses for 10 points in total, and are very much still in contention for the Hanging Gardens of Babylon Major that will be happening in November. And with a win here, they take over sole possession of 3rd. The remaining matches for Space Station are XSET and TSM. These are both teams that are also on that bubble of making it to the major. So you are in for a mighty showing here, friends, because going into this matchup, TSM are in 3rd place right now, and XSET are in 4th. Space Station would vault over both of them if they get all 3 points. So we will keep talking about that. The stat that we've been bringing up today has been 50 kills, because there are a lot of players in the league who are right on the precipice of getting 50 kills. For 4 of the players on Beast Coast, it seems exceptionally unlikely that they will hit it. Surf is already over 50, so kudos to him. As for the Space Station squad, Yeti and Foltz are above 50. Bosco's at 42. Hot and Cold is a single kill shy of the 50 kill mark, and Rampy is at 44.
Not bad at all. I mean, we are playing Clubhouse. It's a place that SSG are very familiar with. We do have the basement, you know, roam called the SSG roam. It's not quite what we see right now. There is no castle in play. Speaking, by the way, of operators, operator bans that came out. Beast Coast, they took the Nook and the Asami off the board, and SSG took the Ace and the Valkyrie. Normally, for a ranged Heart Breacher, we see Hibana being banned typically on this map. So Ace is a bit of a different one. Thermite, of course, will be brought out instead, because you do want that double Heart Breach scenario. So it's going to be Hibana and Thermite most of these rounds. One thing to note, Ferda is playing Sledge without grenades. I never thought I'd say that, because he is bringing those secondary EMPs to the table.
Well, I guess they don't want to bring the Thatcher. They're going to bring the other UK operator, because obviously Sledge is Scottish, whereas Thatcher is English. There's a little bit of a difference to the people who live up there. And as somebody whose entire lineage, with the exception of a small bit that's a little bit Irish, somebody whose entire lineage is Scottish, do not call us English.
Okay.
Call Doki an Englishman and see what happens. Nothing, because he's 4'6". But that's besides the point. You'll see that he will be very unhappy.
Yeah, that's a great point.
Halfway through round number 1 right now. Space Station not really having to contend with any roamers at the moment. Beast Coast, or rather Beast Coast not having to contend with any roamers at the moment. Space Station are just sitting very patiently waiting for them.
Yeah, Space Station, they have this system in place where they will fall back at a certain time because they feel like they've gotten as much out of it as they want, or when a certain amount of pressure gets applied toward them. Ramby's killed the drone up top floor, dropped down 1 floor, killed another drone, now he's back on the basement. Hot and Cold killed the drone, fell back to stock, to the next hatch, killed another drone, fall back to bomb site. Now there's a minute left. Beast Coast, they're just now getting into the 1st floor of the building, trying to gather a bit of control. Main stairs control established, of course, with SSG having those hatches open. That damage is done for them already.
Look at this.
But look at this.
Oh my, look.
They've missed the kitchen.
Oh, would you look at that? I say, would you look at this and would you look at that?
Oh,
no, Yeti. He's got the shoddy Bugatti, gets run over by Ferda. That was extraordinary sloppiness. You are some... Wow. That's a good point. Shut up and drone. By the way, Rainbow Six Siege Ranked brought to you by Shut Up and Drone, which is something that everybody at every rank of this game could benefit from. Anthony gunning down Foltz before Rampy makes him pay. Right now watching over that hatch, which has not been opened up just yet. Zeno with 1. SSG will need to outduel them in the final seconds. Bosco creeps up, takes out Slash, and Bosco, the clutch. Dylan Bosco, the final 3 kills. Space Station, take it. Shut up and drone.
I can't take that.
Shut up and drone. Oh. What a comment that is. Goodness. I mean, that was some meat, Yeti, I gotta be honest. That was some schmeat.
That was not pretty. The thing is, I mean, he got the Ibana killed, he couldn't get the kitchen edge opened up, etc. And ultimately, SSG, of course, they win the round. Bosco, Clutch Master himself, gets the 1v3 essentially, or 2v3 that was. Man, I can't believe that's the beginning to this series, to this matchup. And it's like, it was a very close round. It looked like Beast Coast might almost have had it there. And then, you know, the smack talk in game chat would have been even more funny.
I wonder if the mental is on Beast Coast already. Not exactly mentally right to be chirping so early. I remember this was said ages ago. This was in a this was in one of the qualifier casts that we do. I hate self-promoting on this stream, but we have done the qualifier casts for majors in the past where we'll have like a bunch of pros come on. And I remember in one of them in particular, Skies went to type something in chat, and one of the pros on the stream goes, "Skies already typing in chat, you know they've lost the mental game." Oh, it's come a long way since then, but I think, by the way, that was when Skies was on, was it Obey, I think, and they actually ended up winning and qualifying. So, I mean, they might have lost the mental game, but they won the actual game, and sometimes that's more important.
Yeah, usually it's more important. But it is a good point to make, though, because if you are typing round number 1 or typing in chat in general, it's because something got to you, you know? Like, it should at least take a lot for something to get you to type in all chat, especially in, like, in a way that it's haunting your opponents or complaining about something. Usually it's a player, or like a bug that players are complaining about, oh, I can't move, or I can't throw a grenade, or like I exploded myself up because of this bug. But if it's directed towards an enemy, normally you're tilted.
Yeah, I would be. And I mean, shut up and drone is a great thing to say. I know we're going to fixate on it a lot, but I mean, you're going to drone kitchen. Why the hell are you not droning kitchen? You know there's an electric claw on it. You got to look there. If you're dealing with mute jammers, you got a sledge running mini EMPs, for crying out loud.
Yeah.
Anyway, enough about that round. We're almost halfway through round number 2. Beast Coast do enjoy bringing Sens. What Sens brings to the team are those 4 roly-poly gadgets with the smoke screens, I guess you could call them, that pop up.
The roly-poly gadget.
The roly-poly gadgets. And secondary hard breach as well will complement the exothermic charges of the thermite quite well. We've now actually hit the halfway mark. Toxic canister goes off, lingering over top of a destroyed deployable shield in the middle of the B-bomb site.
As long as Hot and Cold stays alive on Catwalk Rafters, this execute is not going to be easy. You could use the sense to, you know, smoke screen off one part, push in, take the gunfight, and that might be what to do. Yep.
Oh, there it is. Anthony takes out Hot and Cold. That screen's still there. Speaking of smoke, the toxic canister doing some serious damage. You can't see through it, but you can still shoot through it. Shot at the feet. That's Zeno down now to Bosco. SSG answering back. That obfuscation of the site goes down. Beast Coast still sitting waiting. They've got B control, A control for Space Station. Space Station have also fallen back into construction, and Anthony will have to deal with that. Slash outside with the diffuser. He has not been told that it is safe to get in just yet. There's one of those EE1Ds that goes, and Yeti just misses the opportunity as they walk right in. The Warden can see through it quite well. There goes Ferda. Anthony and Slash on top of each other, sitting on it, and down goes Anthony, down goes Slash. The diffuser, though, also goes down, but Surf is inside a garage, and I don't think he's going to be able to get there in time as Fultz easily holds it off, and Yeti kills Surf yet again. Space Station up 2-0.
I want to applaud Space Station's discipline and coordination that round, because when the smoke screen came up, there was 3 members. Yeti top red, other 2 members was in that radio door, and you could see a very, very clear 3, 2, 1 go countdown, because they all stepped up towards the smoke screen, and they all pushed to the exact same moment, and they came from all angles, and they picked up those 2 kills, and got control of the bomb site again, with just leaving Surf inside of that bottom garage area, where he could not have a post-man position to see the diffuser that was planted. So very, very well played from Space Station in that post-plant retake situation, but also Beast Coast's initial execute with this sense was very, very clean. You smoke off one angle, you run in with confidence, you get that kill into Hot and Cold, it opens up the entire round, and then you just played it slow from there. Duked out some C4s, and Anthony did a really good job just staying alive in general throughout that round. And it looked good, but SSG was just a little bit better.
SSG's been just a little bit better across the board right now, and whether it's been drone work from Beast Coast just not being good enough, it does certainly seem like through these 2 rounds that Beast Coast does not have the greatest understanding of how SSG is playing on this defense. And for Space Station, they're not even really doing anything that unorthodox. I mean, yeah, the rat play inside a kitchen by Yeti in round number 1 is a bit strange, but it is not uncommon for somebody to play to die upstairs in kitchen. Whether you're going to waste utility, maybe get an exothermic charge, X-Cairo, something that's thrown in with reckless abandon to try to take the hatch out, you can provide great value to your team even if you die before trading somebody out. Obviously wasn't the case. Yeti did some damage, got the Hibana, ended up dying in that position. But that's a huge win for them.
Yeah.
Second round, you use Sens to quarterback your play. They throw in those roly-poly gadgets, cut off lines of sight, SSG's prepared with the Warden, and then they retake from inside a cache, and you lose it because Anthony's too low on HP, and Slash gets caught right as he's falling off the diffuser.
Yep. You are correct. Absolutely. On this third round, there's Bar. So we are seeing the, normally the last picked bomb set, so to speak, the 4th option being the 3rd instead. I think Bar is a very playable bomb set in today's, meta game of Rainbow Six Siege. You can extend up above, you can play in the basement, etc. And we see more and more teams getting comfortable with the Echo. And I do want to again say that Rogue is likely from the EOL, the Berlin Major winners. A big reason for that, because Daypack, who plays the Echo position or operator for Rogue, has shown how much value this operator can bring your team. And Space Station, they have really capable players, like for example Rambi. So if you give him a Yokai drone to work off of, gain information and play aggressively with, that can just even further increase his odds of winning that gunfight. You got the Mira and the Yokai, ton of info. Beast Coast has to problem solve multiple scenarios here to have a chance to win this round.
There's an exothermic charge that'll go off, SSG roaming from above. The question that we'd asked you, by the way, that you can still vote on the Rainbow Six Esports, or the Rainbow Six Esports NA pages, was talking about planting. Who will get more plants? Beast Coast in their entirety or Bosco? Well, right now, Beast Coast got the diffuser planted in round number 2. It was all for naught, but they still managed to at least get one. Bosco leads the way in the NAL with 12 kills through, 12 plants through those 6 play days, which means that Bosco averages about 2 plants per match. That is actually much higher than an average on most teams because there are a lot of teams that just simply do not play for objectives. It's a very slow round so far, Nick. 40 seconds left on this bar stage defense, and not a lot has happened at all.
I do want to say, SSG have also played twice in overtime, so they have gotten all their attacks, played through. Right? So if you get like a 7-0, but you start defense, you only get 1 attacking round, for example. So of course, SSG, they do play on the objective. They've done so very great throughout their entirety of their team's career, so to speak. And there's a guy in the basement.
There's a walk-in by Ferda again. Shut up and drone is a good way to put it. Fultz downstairs getting hunted down. When you see an Echo on the board for a stage defense, you know they're going to be down below. What lies in wait? Well, it can spring up at a moment's notice and do some serious damage to you. Anthony, the first kill for Beast Coast. Diffuser walked in, Slash at the halfway mark, but SSG's now retaking. Fultz tries to take the engagement himself, can't do it. Anthony and Surf shutting down a retake from Space Station as Anthony plays from above, but he's all by himself and he has to go outside as Bosco and Hot and Cold to clutch. Anthony has sights on the diffuser, walks right in, Hot and Cold stops him in his tracks, and then jumps on the case as well. Bosco, through these 3 rounds, 5 kills, yet to die, and Space Station's up 3-0.
That's a very awkward situation for Nomad because in most rounds, the defenders will open up that construction hatch themselves as the defending team to fall back. But they didn't because they're playing passively off Master Bedroom and on Office with those mirror windows. And if you're Nomad, you can't open up the hatch in that scenario because you don't have any soft-reach utility. So you have to go all the way outside, had no information like audio on the diffuse. You had to sprint in assuming they were already close to finishing off the diffuse and just died in that 1v2. And this has caused Beast Coast to take their tactical timeout after losing the 3rd round in a row, despite planting in 2 of those 3 rounds. It's a tough start. I mean, numbers-wise, it's a tough start, 3-0, but they have been close rounds. Like, this is Beast Coast getting oh so close in all 3 rounds, but is yet to win one.
Beast Coast having some serious struggles. Anthony has been the standout performer in a lot of these rounds, not just getting first picks, but also being able to cover his teammates when they get into the position which they often find themselves in of getting that diffuser down. Beast Coast get the first pick in round number 2, get diffuser down, still lose the round. That is devastating. Round number 3, they don't get the first pick, but they still get the diffuser down and had a numbers advantage on site, 3v2. Still ultimately lost the round. Again, coordination seems to be the biggest stumbling block for this Beast Coast squad. Through these 3 rounds, they have never really looked comfortable droning. They have never really looked particularly sharp with their drone work. And Spacestation, as we pointed out, aren't even really doing anything that odd. Echo downstairs or a Maestro downstairs is exactly how teams play bar stage, because you want your gadgets on that main floor. Most teams are going to clear out the top floor and then go for a straight execute into bar or stage. They're not going to bother with going through the basement unless you have somebody run through blue. And even then, it's likely to get to the main stairs just to try to put another focus on attack, making sure that the defenders can't get back to the bomb site. They knew it. They were expecting it. Spacestation still wins the engagement down below. You got to feel for Beast Coast on this one.
Something interesting to note right now is that they're bringing Bandit for a base and roam game. The reasoning for it is because if you put a mute jammer on the jacuzzi or CCTV wall, a thermite can just rappel upside down and get past the mute jammer. So we're playing a counter game right now. SSG, they want to counter thermite, they bring Bandit. Beast Coast, they then attack a repick, they change to EMPs on Sledge again, and they get served on the Mavericks of the thermite, sorry. So we're kind of trying to counter thermite. We read that, we counter with Maverick, and now we're finding this awkward position where what exactly is going to be happening. You can get this wall open up with CCTV if you want to, but Maverick needs assistance, right? So instead of making a rotation or a soft breach into the wall, it's just a small line of sight to catch any roamers, while the main clear will come from Master Bedroom for Beast Coast and then swoop over from that side. The thing is, Spacestation, they're spread out across the map. Hot and Cold plays out a pool table. We had a Bandit playing upstairs early in the round. Yeti on the main stairs. It's not going to be as simple as just walking in. And the drone work, you mentioned it, Parker, has to be on a good pace for Beast Coast, because time is also a problem for them so
far. A much better level, yes. And I mean, you're clearing a map that should be done relatively quickly, especially with no mute, especially with no Mozzie on the board. There's really nothing slowing you down. And Spacestation are not bringing tons of tools that are designed to thwart this roam game, yet they're still thwarting it anyway, which is really impressive for Spacestation and also very unimpressive for Beast Coast. Speaking of drone work, look at where Hot and Cold is. He's just sitting in the middle of the bar. Yeti, the first engagement onto Zeno. The Zoph shoots. The Alibi shoots back better. And Spacestation have a numbers advantage for the final minute.
And there's no calls from Dokkaebi either, so if you don't drone out Hot and Cold's position, you can't use that gadget to find him, and he might just get a free kill.
And he almost does, softening up Surf, typically the top performing player, and as Oryx is the fastest operator in the game, he's able to run and dash his way through the stairs and get back to safety. 20 seconds, allow Beast Coast to reset. Anthony's focus is over towards blue. He might catch one through these small holes that have been created. Work against Spacestation. If they're not careful, it'll allow Beast Coast to swing things back in their favor, and there you go. Damage done to Hot and Cold. They know his position is over towards blue. It looks like the Gone 6 misses. So Spacestation still sit in their tight angles. Bosco can stop a push through Moto very quickly as Foltz' magnets in front of him. Right now by blue. Oh no, Beast Coast, you have 10 seconds to go, and I don't even think they've opened up Kitchen Hatch yet. This is not good. Bosco sees the Dokkaebi. Bosco, you just saw the Dokkaebi yet again. Slash goes down, now it's Bosco to drop. They swing their way in. Rampy gets one for Spacestation. Still, SSG in advantage. Foltz continues it, and that's it. Spacestation wins their 4th in a row, so dominant here on Clubhouse as they've won the first half outright now 4-0.
This is such a, really messy round, confusing round, if you will, and the biggest issue right now comes down to drone efficiency, pace for Beast Coast, and just not really having enough time to do all the steps they want to do. I mean, the kitchen hatch should have been opened up a long time ago, but with 10 seconds left, they realize, oh snap, actually it is still close. Sprint down the main stairs, rush to the building, almost get into a arguably neutral position in terms of man count and plant possibility, but eventually SSG, they, end up with a bigger man advantage. They win their gunfights time and time again. It's a 4-0 for them now. And they can just go through every single bomb site with comfortability, knowing that it's already worked once. We just got to make it work one more time. And CCTV is where they'll go. We've yet to see them pull out the gym bomb site, but we did see them play the bar bomb site itself, where you extend up as if it was a gym situation, so that we know they can play both in that case. Typically with Maverick open, most teams would stay away from this CCTV bomb site because you can just Maverick the wall open and it's difficult to deal with. Yeti's bringing out the Bandit, so now the question comes, will the attacker repick take advantage of that fact and show the Maverick on their side? No, with Thatcher and Thermite to open up this round for them. A single heart breach on the side of Slash if you bandit trick a single exothermic charge, that is half your heartbeat's gone. So you're limited in what you can open up. And if Yeti is accurate with the bandit battery audio cues against the thermite, they might not be able to open up much at all.
Bandit tricking will be the name of the game. Has Bandit been banned once in the North American League? I think that's it in terms of operator bans.
I believe so, yes.
Yeah, we talked through the operator bans. No Ace, no Valkyrie, no Azami, no Nook. These are pretty common things, and there comes the bandit trick right in front of our eyes. They know that he's going to be juggling those batteries on the wall.
Yeah.
Those mini EMPs, by the way, nowhere near as potent as true EMPs, but the good news is they've decided, they've subbed them out. Surf is running the actual Thatcher, the real deal.
Yeah, the thing is they need to now go below to either nade or Sophia below the bandit's feet from the stock, or they can Sophia stun the drone hole instead, but one of those two options have to go through. They've used the Sophia stun, so now they have to nade below. Rambi playing this position on steps is going to help assist Yeti to try and keep him alive long enough to either bandit trick the wall or just burn down the clock.
As a lot of people don't realize, one of the main focuses of an Ashe, anybody with grenades, or a Zofia is to get into that position in lounge and fire up through the floor, either destroying the bandit batteries or at least crippling the bandit's ability to hold that part of the map.
Yep.
Anthony is the one tasked with taking control of lounge. Rampy has a small opening. It's a nice play on his end. He has to retreat, and he'll go even farther back now. EMP's going off.
No,
but they'll be able to bandit trick it. There goes the grenade, yet he sees it. Can he get it in time? Exothermic charge going off. And he's got it in the nick of time. Fultz takes out Ferda before getting taken out himself by Anthony. Numbers even. There's a nade from Anthony, but it misses! And another bandit trick will come in, and it works as well! But the grenade finally gets him, and it seems like the wall will be safe. An attempt from Beast Coast denied. It's not sexy, but by God, it works. And with 50 seconds to go, Beast Coast will have to fall off their original plan.
This is a huge win for SSG, by the way. You're 3 versus 3, that's good. The wall cannot get opened up, and you only got a single heart breacher in Beast Coast attacking lineup. Whatever is close right now will stay that way. And Rambi, he can just hide in Harry Potter.
And that's exactly where he's going to be. Rampy with 5 kills through these 5 rounds. One apiece. One apiece is quite a good pace. Anthony and Surf. Anthony on 8 kills, but that's all he's going to get. Rampy breaks 50 on the stage. 51 is Surf. There's a bullet in his gun with his name on it. Will he collect? That is the real question. Surf looks, does damage to Rampy, takes out Hot and Cold on the nice drag. Rampy just needs to waste 5 seconds. That's it. Decides to pop up. A bit of an ego challenge. And it's Rampy to get the kill. 51 kills for him. The Ramp Dog back in fine form. SSG crushing Beast Coast right now, 5-0.
I always talk about, I also hate self-advertisement. Whenever I stream, people ask me like, oh, how good is Bandit right now in the game? And I always say Bandit in a professional level should never be able to bandit trick if you were to execute the round correctly. And I mean, that entire round comes down to mis-execution on a simple concept, right? The up-down nades, or whatever the EL calls it, or the nades from below, as we call it here in the NAL. And, you know, 3 nades, I believe I counted, was tossed towards Yeti's feet, and there was a 3rd grenade that killed him after he bandit tricked his 2nd exothermic charge. That is essentially a misplay on the attacker's side, but I mean, SSG did a good job. Yeti was playing comfortably on the objective, Rambi played aggressively down below to distract them, but if that nade is just a little bit different in terms of toss or the timing, that entire round will be in a completely different scenario, right? So it's messy. You mentioned the park, if you play Ashe, Sophia, you can go below. Sophia was on the board for Beast Coast, wasn't used. It was used elsewhere.
Correct. That nade really was a big issue. Anthony botching that nade, that absolutely, had it hit, would have killed Yeti earlier. Yes. He did not have the bandit battery down at the time. The exothermic charge would have gone off, and you have a completely different landscape for that round. Instead, Space Station just got lucky. That was really it. You capitalized on that bandit tricking because the Yana missed her nade. You didn't do anything special. Maybe it was the phantom pressure of Rampy being down below, living so rent-free in Anthony's head that it would make any millennial blush. Who knows? I don't know, but either way, it did not work out for them. Beast Coast have had very few good looks in this match. They've still got a player that is yet to get on the board, that's Slash. He has just been a dummy at this point, a mannequin.
I think dummy is a very bold choice of words.
Like, not like he's a dummy, as in
no,
like
no,
he's
I
dumb,
know.
as in like a dummy, as in like a practice dummy. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, you know what I mean.
I know what you mean.
There are a few players that I have greater appreciation and respect for than Slash.
Oh, I agree. I'm on the same page.
So, Slash has been around Cash Money, Spencer Oliver, the man so twice, that man so nice they named him twice. I don't know exactly what is going on with this Beast Coast team, but unfortunately for them, they've got 3 players with a combined 2 kills. Anthony, 8 kills, but they've been largely impactless, as it hasn't amounted to Beast Coast getting a single round.
Yeah. They're still trying and working their way through the map, but again, it's a slow pace. Minute 30 seconds left on the clock on a bar attack of all places. Last time it was a close one. It came down to that 2 versus 3, and eventually, we saw SSG, they won the round, as they could not clutch it out. Anthony was left in that 1v2. They've gotten half the map now. CCTV, Cash, and they got connector control. Now they can do the same thing. Go downstairs, attack stock, get the diffuser down if they want to. It's their choice right now. I don't think full clearing the top floor is a possibility, and given how passively they are playing on that window rappel, I don't think they're going to either. But they will drone out the perimeter to see what is around. And the answer is 2 members of SSG.
By the way, that alibi trick, Space Station have thrown one of those prismas out of a window, it would seem, which will constantly alert the attackers of somebody being outside. That will enable runouts to happen without really giving much notification to Beast Coast. Xeno, Anthony, and Surf have all taken damage, and they amount to roughly where Hot and Cold sits as a single unit. At this point, Space Station needs to sit and wait for these final 30 seconds. Can Beast Coast turn the tide and surf their way to victory? Flash is going in for Bosco, still holding this angle. He's got a Maestro camera, just waiting. The Flores drone unable to take it out. He won't see much through the smoke. There goes a nade. Does it do any damage? Not yet. Now it's Surf to take some damage, Slash as well. Bosco still in this spot, diffuser being planted, and that's an easy pick for him. SSG starting things off, swung on by Surf. He'll need to grab the diffuser and get the plant down as Beast Coast drops towards the stage. They're stopping Space Station in their tracks, but no! Hot and Cold saves the day right as the timer hits 0, and SSG go perfect through the first half.
And again, it comes down to the pace, because there's simply not enough time for these very small mistakes to be happening, or small gaps that gets exploited by Space Station. The first smoke that was tossed out, it disappeared before the plant was even halfway through. That means Slash falls first, and with so few seconds left on the clock, if the second member gets shut down as well, which is exactly what happened, timers on 0, defenders, they win the round by default, and SSG, they don't even have to fight out that 2 versus 4. So again, or 2 versus 3 rather. So it looked good for Beast Coast again, but a very small issue, a very small thorn in their side becomes their downfall. And the question was, like, who's gonna get more plants, right? It's gonna be the entirety of Beast Coast or just Bosco. And the thing is, Beast Coast are very likely to win that vote, because SSG could seal the deal 7-0 and then maybe even not even get a single plant down, but they will win that vote for all the, I guess you would say, wrong reasons in that case. But this comes down to SSG having a phenomenal defense, combined with Beast Coast having some rough times on their attack. While the story tells a 6-0, 3, if not 3.5 of those rounds could have gone either way if very small things were changed. Beast Coast didn't look absolutely lost, but their time, their droning, and their gaps in their attacks were exploited well by Space Station.
Well, it guarantees SSG at least 1 point, by the way. In terms of the stakes of this matchup, Beast Coast have already been eliminated from making the Hanging Gardens of Babylon Major coming up this fall. There's another team that could now see their chances be removed entirely, and that's OXG. If Space Station win the matchup, doesn't matter if it's 2 points in overtime or if it's all 3 points in regulation, that does it for OXG. They will be mathematically out of the running to make the major. And it was tweeted by Jacob earlier today, there is still a mathematical possibility that OXG doesn't make SI, despite starting this stage with a 99% chance. It would require an incredible string of events to happen, but it is still there. If you're OXG, got to start getting some more points on the board and get yourself out of the basement and put yourself in a better position to get those SI points, to be in what we assume, I guess, is Montreal. They haven't announced the location of SI, but I was just going to default to Montreal.
Yeah.
In the early months of 2023, in the cold dead of winter. Fultz takes out Surf. Traditionally, the long-standing and strongest member of this Beast Coast squad, the Warden, will be no more, won't be able to see through any of the smokes or stuns or flashes or whatever might be brought out. There's no smokes on the board for SSG, so you don't need to worry about that, but it does put Beast Coast at a severe disadvantage with half the round to go.
Also, just like Beast Coast, SSG are also bringing Sledge with the EMP grenades in pocket, so no grenades on this attacking lineup, but they're being substituted out by, of course, the Flourish drones from Hot and Cold, to the Retero drones, that is. So you do have explosive economy to go in a different shape or form. Minute and 10 seconds on the clock. In SSG, they can still approach this round differently. They can go blue, they can go dirt, and you can even opt to go kitchen hatch because Beast Coast, they don't have that much map control right now. And Anthony, he's used all 3 toxic babes at a minute left in the round. Another win for SSG.
Good timing on their part. 50 seconds now. Fultz posted up inside of blue, laying next to where Surf fell from. And he will try to clear this out if there's somebody playing behind the box, but no, there's nobody. So Fultz has a wider line of sight as he loses a bit of it and loses his HP in the process. To try and stun. Diffuser going down from Bosco. There's nobody to contest, and if they try to come in, it'll be Yeti to cut them off. 9 players still alive, but the Diffuser goes down. Yeti takes out Zeno before he's finished off by Ferda. Beast Coast in a tie position. Everybody's still upright, but Beast Coast have taken some serious lumps. They lose Slash. He's 1-7. At least he found a kill before what might be the end of this matchup. Bosco retreating into Dirt Tunnel. Rampy watching from above. Down goes Hot and Cold, so at least there's some control from above, but Rampy an easy pick. That puts Anthony with 11 kills to die to Rampy as well. How about a 7-0? Is that the first 7-0 this stage?
I believe so, if I have to recall, because they lost 7-1, 7-2 in their first opening game against TSM and XSET on Chalet, so I want to say yes. I believe it's the first 7-0.
Wow. Phenomenal stuff, and if we look so far at these numbers, yes, it is indeed the first 7-0 of the stage. As you pointed out, Beast Coast lost to TSM 7-1, lost to XSET 7-2, now lose to Space Station 7-0. That also means that OXG, who didn't even play in this match, also lose out on going to the Fall Major. They join Beast Coast